everyone. I'm so sorry.
Chaos on campus.
Coward, punk piece of
Do you want to go out and make an appearance?
No.
security, get the out of here.
Antifa militants and transgender activists tried to hijack a Turning Point USA event at the University of Washington.
Don't touch me again.
They broke windows, banged on doors, and pulled fire alarms numerous times in Thompson Hall, intimidating students to the point where they felt unsafe.
My first thoughts are to just keep praying and keep, trusting God.
Even with multiple security guards and campus police in the room, organizers had no other choice but to cancel the event.
I would recommend not interacting with them because clearly they are very violent at this moment.
UW students are being escorted out by law enforcement due to the far-left activists.
The protesters were targeting Olivia Krolchek, a free speech advocate with the Riley Gaines Center.
Were you expecting this welcome?
I did not expect to see hundreds of people outside blocking off the road and pulling the fire alarm so that we can't even have an event.
Women are terrified to speak out.
She was planning on speaking about women's empowerment and the dangers of transgender ideology.
These protesters don't even want to listen to us. They don't even know how to combat what we are saying.
That last piece is what really riled up the crowd, made up of mostly non-students, who were already amped up with anger after President Trump made this announcement.
It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
The university sent out a statement that reads in part, "Informed discussion and debate are encouraged on campus. However, it is clear that presenters and disruptors are in some cases seeking to antagonize one another in ways that provide dramatic content for their social media feeds."
We were essentially kidnapped inside of the building.
Krolchek took to social media to say UW is victim blaming.
University of Washington knew about this event. They knew that there were going to be protests and rallies. They even are hosting a safe space because of the transphobic speaker.
And showed no evidence of these allegations against her.
The University of Washington did not support free speech tonight.
I don't think it's okay to rob a grocery store if you're hungry.
TPUSA is used to courting controversy for sharing conservative opinions on mostly liberal campuses. Last year, Antifa also tried to disrupt a Charlie Kirk speaking engagement at the height of pro-Hamas protests, where outside agitators and students set up tents in the quad for weeks.
It's a whole new era at the White House.
Kirk is now bringing attention to this latest debacle, implying President Trump should cut federal funding to the school if any student's freedom of expression or right to free speech was violated.
Donald Trump's use of the phrase enemies from within.
Others are now asking Washington Governor Bob Ferguson's new anti-hate task force to investigate, and at the very least, document this incident of far-left extremism. Krolchek says she will eventually return to campus,
Eliminating DEI in our classrooms.
and share her powerful message,
Protection of women in women's sports.
preferably without the violence and intimidation.
Olivia, you doing okay?
Out there, the Riley Gaines Center will not be shut down. Turning Point will not get shut down.
As you can see, these folks that attacked this peaceful student meeting were extremely violent. But here's the really funny thing. Nowhere have I heard that there's been actual arrest from that night. Think about that. There were campus police there. They have the authority to arrest, but nobody was arrested. And from the University of Washington, they spoke to 77 KTTH in Seattle. UW spokesperson Victor Balta provided a statement to the Jason Rantz show on KTTW, but the statement implies that conservative students with TPUSA Washington and the speaker are partly to blame for being targeted. While Balta notes that the UW is committed to a free exchange of ideas, he implied that because the group did not follow through on commitment requiring registration for attendance in advance of the event, TPUSA UW's intent may not have been to hold an event without disruption. He also implied that Olivia Krolchek wanted to agitate the activist outside. Informed discussion and debate are encouraged on our campus. However, it is clear that presenters and disruptors are, in some cases, seeking to antagonize one another in ways that provide dramatic content for their social media feeds. Tuesday's scheduled speaker told the student newspaper that she was excited the event was shut down. Walter wrote, "No, that is not the actual intent of what she said." Malta did not provide any evidence showing Krolzik, who he lists before the actual activist disruptors, sought to antagonize the protesters for dramatic content on social media. Krolzik did not post any videos of her antagonizing anyone in the activist crowd on her Instagram, X, or TikTok accounts as of Wednesday afternoon. But Malta also did not accurately quote Krolzik's interview with the Daily. So, this is what happened there. Now, I've got 2 more videos for you. Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
I had an event at University of Washington today on behalf of the Riley Game Center with Turning Point USA hosting me, except for I never actually got to have the event. Hundreds of students, including Antifa, actually showed up to the event to protest. They essentially shut down the road that the building was on. They blocked all of our entrance and exit points, so we could not get in or out of the building. Pulled the fire alarm, set off some other alarm that I don't even know how they got access to. We could not leave the building. We could not let anyone enter the building. We were essentially kidnapped inside of the building, and then I was separated from Turning Point at one point, and I was alone in a room. There was graffiti all over the building. They broke the windows, threw the noisemakers in, had lights, were yelling, were in my face. Eventually was able to get out. Security dressed me in police clothing and we were able to huddle and somehow escape, getting me to a police car, to the station, filed a report. However, after they got me out of the building, they essentially left all the Turning Point students to fend for themselves. They evacuated them one by one, but basically out into the street, into the crowd. Thankfully, they did all make it home safe. But University of Washington knew about this event. They knew that there were going to be protests and rallies. They even are hosting a safe space because of the transphobic speaker that's going to be on campus. So they knew all about this and did absolutely nothing to provide security for, the students. They have their own students at this event for me, the speaker. And the students who were making threats prior to this event actually have video footage that they're posting right now about. And I would just like to say that President Trump signed an executive order to say that there is no federal funding for schools that are not going to support free speech. And I can tell you firsthand that the University of Washington did not support free speech tonight.
Window.
Oh, and you know how the Democrats like Antifa, because Antifa is a major voice within the Democrat Party, how they keep coming up with, oh, there's no smart women or anything like that. Let me give you a bio before I do this last video. Olivia Krolzik is Riley Game Center ambassador and campus reform reporter, both projects of the Leadership Institute. While pursuing a major in chemistry, which, by the way, she got, at the University of Cincinnati, she was giving a failing grade on a project proposal in one of her courses for using the term biological woman. Olivia's post about her experience on TikTok reached more than 6 million views before it was deleted from the platform for community guideline violations. Later, Olivia was permanently banned from TikTok for speaking the truth. Men and women are different. Because of this unjust treatment and the threat this bullying poses to women and girls, Olivia is now a passionate advocate for free speech and protecting women's identity, opportunities, and safety. Well, it seems that Antifa is not from their actions.
The University of Washington is trying to claim that I arrived on campus with the intent to cause problems and antagonize the other side. However, this is what the other side was posting in the days leading up to me arriving on campus, and University of Washington was aware because the Turning Point chapter sent them this information.
This is an svegliato, oh bella ciao, ciao ciao ciao, una mattina mi sono svegliato e ho trovato l'invaso.
It's weird because I don't remember making a video like that and posting it about the students at UWash. And I don't think me just showing up on campus is antagonizing anyone. And I certainly wasn't there with the intent to provide dramatic social media content when this is what happened to me on campus.
Antifa is a violent terrorist group. They are just like any other Democrat group. Think about this for a second. Antifa, BLM, the KKK, all of them are Democrat groups. They've all been exceedingly violent. Yet, because we've allowed our justice system to become this liberal cesspool, they get away with it. You had people that were welcomed into the Capitol building. There are videos of it. So don't tell me that they weren't allowed into that building. And they weren't violent, the vast majority of them. Yeah, there were a few stupid people. And guess what? I can guarantee you that some of them were part of the FBI assets. Here's what the problem is. Antifa is a violent terrorist group. And they are the voice of the Democrat Party. They keep being allowed to do this. They're claiming at the University of Washington in Seattle that, oh, if we figure out who did it, we'll arrest them. No, you won't. I can guarantee you won't. This is what's going on in Seattle. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic, because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.